Welcome everybody to our Canva launch.
Good afternoon, everybody. If you hear Karen and I, you can either give us a reaction, thumbs up, or if you want to open your mic, turn on your cameras. It's up to you. We are going to be recording the session just so that you know.
And then I'm gonna mute Julie when I start talking, and Julie will mute me when she wants to start talking. So hopefully we won't have a lot of conflicts. So by the way, hi everybody, I'm Karen Belbier.
And I'm Julie Rivas. So we want to welcome you to our official EPISD Canva launch. So let's see, is it going to do it? Oh, there we go. Yay. So just so you know, we have had Canva officially in the district for the last year, but we haven't done an official launch to announce that we are a Canva district. So we do want to make sure that we cover a few key things with you this afternoon. We will let you know what Canva is, how we access it within EPISD. You also will have brand kits, specific features for both educators and students because we are using a Canva EDU account. We'll mention a few of the AI tools and we'll talk a little bit about how we do sharing and publishing. So first off, what is Canva? So Canva is an online design platform, and their whole goal is to allow anybody in the world to design and publish. And so it is a tool that is used for graphic design mostly. You'll see presentations created in Canva, videos, infographics, all different kinds of designs, things for social media. And with the district version, with Canva EDU, it is completely free to us. So one of the goals of Canva is to provide Canva for free to any educator and student anywhere in the world so that they have access to the tool and are able to create. And so, like I mentioned, it is going to be accessible to all of our teachers and all of our students. Canva has been around for, I believe we're going into the 11th year. So 11 years Canva has existed. Canva EDU's only been around for maybe 4, I think, something like that. And so if you had a Canva account prior to the merging of all of our EPIC accounts last year, you need to make sure that you do have an educator account. You will also maybe remember that we did have students using accounts that were not 100% authorized at that point. But now anybody, technically pre-K up to 12th grade, any of our students do have access to use Canva for creating projects in your classroom. And to access it, you will go into ClassLink. So in ClassLink, you will find Canva listed. You'll see the icon that you see on your screen right now. It'll have that little key. That means that your username and password is already synced up. And when you click on that, it's going to automatically log you in and start to create your account if you've never used Canva before. You'll also notice that you will be part of a team. And within that team, you'll have your campus name. So when you join a team, it'll be based on the campus that you work at, or if you have any children in the district, it's going to be whatever campus they are currently attending. If you happen to move between campuses, you'll notice that you'll have additional teams listed. If you move from last year to this year, or if you happen to have a personal account or a previously existing account, you might see multiple teams listed underneath. And I'm actually going to go ahead and show you where to go and what it would look like. So if I log into Canva, like I said, it's going to be through ClassLink. ClassLink is going to be the route that you and your students will take in order to access Canva. And you're going to notice up on your upper right-hand corner, there'll be a drop down and it's going to show the teams that you are a part of. Both Karen and myself are in every single team in the district. So we have all of the schools listed here. Like I said, if you happen to have an account prior to the merger, you will find a team name that has your first name and last name, and it'll say, like for me, it'll say Julie Revis's team. And then, like I said, you'll have your department or your campus, whatever team that you are currently a part of. Karen, is there anything you wanted to jump in with for that?
Also, as Julie's moving forward, because we are a part of each of the teams, we were able to create brand kits, and so that's what you're seeing here that Julie is sharing. Um, I do believe that Julie may have shared, but I just want to reiterate one more time that our students and staff have access to Canva EDU features. And so one way that you can tell if a student is using Canva EDU, as Julie mentioned, is looking in that top right of their computer to make sure that it has the name of the school and not a personal team, because sometimes students will, may want to use the team that they created in the past when they were going rogue with their EPISD account. And so you do want to just kind of take a look and make sure that they're in that team. And being within that team will, of course, give them a lot of the features that I'm going to call their pro features, but they're education features. And so you shouldn't see watermarks over the designs that they're creating or the products that they're creating to show and demonstrate what they know.
Okay. So I clicked on a different campus just so that you could see what the screen would look like. So depending on your school, because Karen and I have added in the brand kits for each of your campuses, you're going to see your school, one of your school colors listed up here at the banner on the top for what you will design today. And then over on the left-hand side, you will also see a little icon here that says brand. And you'll notice it has a crown on it. Anything with a crown on it is normally considered pro. We're in an education account, which gives you all of the pro features and more. So this is why you're going to see that little crown there. And so if you are in your campus team and you click on brand, you're going to see that we've loaded the campus logo and we have also added the campus school colors. If you happen to see a color or something that's a little bit off, let us know because we kind of guessed on some of these for getting the color right. But if you happen to know the exact colors, we can fix those for you. But these color schemes and the logos are accessible for any design that you make in Canva. So if I wanted to start a new design, let's say I just wanted to make an Instagram post. And I wanted to make sure that what I was creating had all of those elements to go along with something that I'm going to post for my campus. Again, over on this left-hand side, you are going to see that little brand kit icon again. You're going to see I can bring in my logo. And then if I added any other elements, so let's say I just wanted to put in a square. And this one happened to pull in with that purple. So that kind of works out. So let's say I wanted to add this in. I'm going to change my position here real quick and put it behind. And because I have that brand kit there, I can change it and shuffle to a different color. So it's going to start to add that color scheme. Obviously for here, there's only 3 colors, but depending upon the text I add or other elements that I add to my design, I can shuffle through the colors so that I can get a combination that I like the best. But it's going to be set up like that for every single one of our schools. And our students also have access to that too. So if you're at a middle school or high school, if your students are in clubs or organizations where maybe their responsibility is to make graphics for their club, a poster, online social media posts, they have access to that as well.
I was going to mute Julie so I could talk. Just kidding. I was adding a couple things into the chat, but as Julie said, this is just really going to give your students I want to say the autonomy, but give them that opportunity to create a very professional flyer, poster, or even a program for an upcoming event at school, and to be able to use that school logo when they're designing. And so this might even make it easier for you to allow those students to create that. And then we're going to get into collaboration, but multi-students could work on the same project together to create a design to make it extra special for the campus. And so this really allows the whole campus to be a part of creating these very professional, like I said, looking items for campus, along with, of course, demonstrating their knowledge in the classroom.
So Karen mentioned collaboration. So since I'm currently in a document, I'm going to go ahead and show you where that is. So if you happen to have a team of students that are working on a project or you would like them to work on a project together, you're going to notice at the very top, you see my little icon here to show that I'm currently in the document. But if I wanted to add other users to this document, I can just click on that plus and I can type in the names or the email addresses of the people that I want to have included. So if I started typing in, I'm going to put Chris here. So I'm going to type in Chris's email address and I can put in a message. I can change my rights. So if I wanted all of us to have access to it, I can click on Can Edit. If I just wanted to have a document where I wanted a review of the document where somebody could comment and give me feedback, that's what that second option is, Can Comment. And the Can View is obviously view only rights. So if you want just access to view and not do anything else with it, that's going to be your option there. I'm going to keep it on Can Edit and then I can give a little note. And then when I click on share, it's already going to send out an email notification. And you'll see I have a pending invitation here. I can click on edit and remove that user's access at any point to that document as well. So that's going to be how your students can collaborate on a document. If you wanted them to add you in there as well to be able to view, they could add you as a viewer, or I would say the best thing to use in that case would be the option that says can comment so that you can allow feedback. So we did want to also talk about some of the AI features that are built in to these different documents. And one of the main ones that I do want to show, because I know it becomes really important, especially for our parents and students that may not be native English speakers, and you do have to do translations for documents for them, and it'll make it very, very easy, is going to be underneath this option that says resize and magic switch. And under that option, you can see that you have translate. If you go into translate, it's going to ask you the different language that you want it to translate to. So you've got all your different choices of languages. It's going to ask you which page you want to apply it to. So if it's a document that's multiple pages and you only need certain ones to translate, you can do that as well. And then the very last option, translate existing design without creating a copy. That means that it's going to take what you have and completely translate it to the language that you've chosen. I would suggest not checking that off because I would want to keep a copy of my original and then have the additional copy that's translated. So just make sure that you take this piece into consideration before you click on that translate button. So that's going to be that option that's there. The other thing that's underneath the same space is going to be resizing. So again, if you have a poster that you're making, but then you want to convert it to a different size, but you don't want to start from scratch. If I have my Instagram post here and I wanted to change it to a Facebook post, I can then go and click on continue. And it's going to ask me, do I want to copy and resize it or apply that resize to the specific design? I always do copy and resize again, so I have my original document and then I have the resized version. Just know that you will have to obviously adjust things, but everything you've already placed on there will already be ready for you to move. It's not going to be starting completely from scratch. So those are going to be two of your features that are here at the top within any of your documents. And I'm going to point it out just because it's here. Chris has joined my document. So I can see that Chris is now currently in my document because his little icon is there. So however many different people I have in my document that are currently present and working in it, it's going to show up here at the top. So he has now popped in to collaborate on this document with me. A couple of other things that are AI elements. Know that if you are adding text, when you hover over the text element, you're going to see something called Magic Write. Magic Write is going to work to where if you are going to come up with a prompt or have a piece of text that you want to put into this document, it will write it out all for you. Um, if you're creating a lesson plan or something like that, you'll be able to use this magic write feature. So I'm going to go ahead and click on try an example. It's telling me 5 Twitter posts announcing a product launch for a new alarm clock. So if I click on generate, it's going to give me all of my choices. So this is going to be your embedded AI that's going to give you the choices that are similar to using ChatGPT, if you're familiar with using that program. This is one of the features that is not accessible to our students. This is only going to be accessible to you as an adult user of CanvaEDU. Just keep that in mind, even though we can have our students that are 13 and over using AI. In our district, we do have this feature turned off for any of our students. It's only open for the adult users of the program. Okay, so that's going to be, again, any of your magic write tools are going to be underneath and available just to you as the teacher, or again, any facilitators or anything like that within our district have access to that feature. I'm going to go ahead and click on insert just so I can get that out of the way. I was going to show this part really quick. This would be where if we wanted to have a comment from one of our users, anywhere you see that little conversation bubble in any item, any element, this is where I can get feedback from a user. So if Chris wanted to come in and give me feedback on something since he's in the document, he can click on this little comment bubble and it will add a little comment here off to the side. So that's good. That's good to know, especially if we're collaborating with somebody on something that we need to have reviewed, or like I said, if students are working on products and you want to review something, that gives them the option to add that text there. Karen, did you want to show the, I can't remember what the other thing was that we were going to show.
Okay. So just some other features. So Julie, I'm going to just talk Julie through moving the text off onto the side so that we have our Mustang for Burgess available. I do want you to know that there are some really cool elements built into Canva EDU that are going to really help your students create professional designs. And one of those tools is called Background Eraser. In the past, when students wanted to delete or erase the background of an image, they might have used a tool on their MacBook called Instant Alpha, or maybe they went to a website called Remove BG, but there's no need to jump out of Canva to do a lot of the things like generate a QR code. A lot of those things are built into Canva via apps or just editing tools. So I'm going to have Julie click on the Burgess Mustang logo. And notice that there's a white background. Yeah, and as Julie hovers over the top, you're going to notice BG Remover. It's conveniently placed now right there. So she'll just click on it. And it's going to allow us to remove the background of that Mustang. You know what? It removed a little bit too much, Julie. So if we go ahead and, let's go ahead and click on it might be edit. Let's go to edit. There we go. Edit. We can actually restore a bit. And so notice there's that word restore, Julie. Click on that. And then we're going to see the little brush size on the bottom. And Julie can actually brush in the color of the Mustang. So you see her little cursor and she can kind of color correct because it removed every single thing that was white within the Mustang. And so it's not perfect, but gosh darn, that makes it pretty easy for me to go ahead and bring back some of the items that I want. And then on the bottom of the page, I know Julie's fixing it up here. There's like a zoom in and a zoom out. And so we can actually zoom in and zoom out if we want to make something super perfect to correct our Mustang. There you go, Julie. Make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So that is definitely one of my favorite features because sometimes you might be creating a design and you need an ice cream cone, or maybe you need a cookie or a bag of chips for the bake sale. Maybe not a bag of chips for the bake sale, but some cookies and cakes. And maybe you're trying to place it and create a design and you don't want the cluttered background that you're pulling in from Canva elements. But you could definitely remove the background and just have the cake in your design and make it look very professional by using background remover. And again, this is also available for videos. So if you need to remove a background in videos, you could actually do that. So kind of the instead of a green screen feature, it's also available for our videos as well. I know that I was going to share apps. Okay, so Julie, while Julie's in there, if you're looking on the left-hand side, of course, there are the designs and elements, but there's also the ability to add apps. And so a couple times we've had teachers ask us, well, how can I create a QR code? I realize that this is an Instagram design, but if you wanted to put a QR code because you planned to print this out and place it on the door where parents were going to see this, up at the top, after you click on apps, you could type in the word QR code. There we go. And then it'll give you several QR code generators that you can use for free. I tend to pick the first one, but Julie, pick whichever one you want. There you go. And then we'll go ahead and open up that app. Right on the bottom left, purple button. Oh, oh, see, I was like, Julie's not seeing it. I'm going to tell her where it is. But apparently, all of you Zoom friends are over the button. So, so when she clicked that open, now it gives us space for a URL. Julie, do you want to? There you go. I was going to say, just type in episd.org. You read my mind. And then, if you want to customize, you can. But she clicked update code, and so if right now you were to grab your phone, you could scan that QR code, and it's going to take us to our EPISD website. So the nice thing is it makes it very easy for students to create, again, all in one place in Canva without now having to click the share, create a link, and then create a QR code, and then import it because there is an upload button, and then put it into their design. So it takes out 3 or 4 different steps and brings that right into their design. So within apps, note that YouTube is in there. There are character builders. There are really great tools to design. I want to call it like AI balloons and really cool features for text. And so definitely explore that app area because there's a lot of built-in things. Even Bitmojis are built into the apps for things that you can bring in to your designs to make them pretty easy to create. And again, a lot of fun. Scrolling through there, Julie, look at all that cool stuff. I don't know everything that's in there. Like there really is a lot of really awesome stuff. There it is, Julie, Magic Morph, the really cool morphing letter one on the bottom left. So that's one to play with right there. Magic Morph, the Burgess Mustang B. Just kidding.
Oh, I was just going to say that once you start using certain apps, you are going to see them show up at the bottom of your toolbar. So you've got your basic tools that you would use within Canva, but once you start using certain applications, they'll show as a most recently used item on your list down here at the bottom. And you'll see that there are little X's on some of these too, so that if you needed to clear up any of those applications, you can always click on the X and they'll start to clear those out as well.
We won't demo it, but I do want you to know that there are AI features to remove a person from a picture inside of Canva. There are AI tools inside of the photos as well to be able to replace. So you could, and Julie has done this for really nice photos to make a professional photo. She'll delete the t-shirt she's wearing and then ask them to put a custom suit on. And then she looks like she dressed to the nines to take her work photo when AI just generated a really cool work blouse. So there are, like I said, a lot of neat features built in. And those are hopefully some things that we'll be able to explore as we continue our webinars together.
So I did just click on the photo. And if you look over on the side here, it opens up Magic Studio. So under Magic Studio, this is where you have the background eraser, which is the one that we just used, your Magic Eraser, Magic Grab, Magic Text, Magic Edit, and Magic Expand. So all of these are going to be photo related. Magic Expand would be like if you need to add an additional piece onto your background. If you're missing part of it, you need to expand the size of your picture, maybe to use it as a presentation slide. You could expand the background. It actually works pretty well. Magic Edit is the one that I use to replace my shirt. So you just select the item that you want to replace and it will replace it with something else. I don't think I've used the grab text before. Magic Grab pulls out just an element from a photo. And then, like I said, the other ones are just going to be the erasers. these are going to be accessible to your students because again, you're just making changes to a photo. It's not generating any kind of text or anything like that. And I believe there should also be an option for generating images as well. And that's going to be one of the apps. So you can do AI generated images. We have a question, Karen?
It's me. I have no, I don't have a question. Since we do have librarians in the room, I do want to share that last week I was working with one of my librarians and she pulled up Canva and she was telling me how she loved Magic Eraser because, of course, she was creating a post that she wanted to share on social media. But lo and behold, there was one student inside of the photo that could not be posted to social media. So she was able to pull that into Canva, erase the student, export it, and then delete the picture from her uploads, but it was a way to be able to still include the student when they took their photo, but make sure to erase the student, right, before sharing it anywhere else or sharing it out with the campus. And so I thought that was kind of a neat use because, you know, sometimes those kind of things happen and we're like, well, we'll just put a big sticker over their face and now they have a smiley emoji, but you could actually just use that tool to go ahead and magic erase them out.
I also just use the blur. So in your photo settings, if you go to edit, there's a blur. So if you needed to blur anything out, you can also do a blur as well.
I just
There's
love,
so many different tips and tricks hiding in Canva.
but that's it. We used to have to use so many different apps. This app to erase the background, this app to blur, this app to make a photo collage, this app, and now we can do all of these things inside of Canva. It's our one-stop shop.
So I know we only have a few minutes left. There's a lot that we could be going over and talking about today, but we just wanted to make sure that we at least let you know where to go, how you could get started with Canva. If there's any questions, you can either open up your mic if you would like to, or if you wanted to put it in the chat. We do need to also complete an attendance. And I know I have access to it, but I need to stop sharing my screen to grab it. So let me go ahead and do that real quick and I'll drop it in the chat for everyone.
I'm gonna share here in just a moment. I'm gonna find something and I'll show you guys how to share and publish within Canva EDU, but we are waiting for any questions if you have any.
I do have a question. Can you hear me? So I'm using Magic Write to put together a bookmark for parents about the value of reading to their children. So it's giving me some good responses to that prompt. But I want to know if there is a way to convert the text into a different layout. For example, a way to convert it into like a bookmark specific layout, or do I need to just create a bookmark template and then drop that text and mess with it?
Julie was just sharing. She didn't know she was muted, but she said you would want to use Magic Switch and use the resize to bookmark.
And that's under transform.
It's under, do you remember, Julie, if it's under transform? I think on the top left, there is a little magic switch.
It's
Right,
like
magic
it should say resize or magic switch.
So it says magic switch, and then it gives me translate, transform, convert to presentation. So it would be transform.
Probably transform. That sounds.
Yeah, no, I see a resize on my end. So when you go to the resize at the top, it should give you an option that says translate, transform into doc, but then there should be, if you scroll down a little bit more, option for resizing with certain file types or a custom size. And usually if you go into see all, or if you do a search at the top for resize options, you can search for bookmark and have it resized to that file type.
So real quick, I do want to share that you can share and publish and some options in here. This is an example of a presentation that I put together. So I just pulled it up, but keep in mind, again, it could be an Instagram post, it could be a video, it could be a t-shirt, design a t-shirt contest. There are all sorts of different designs that you can create inside of Canva. But one thing that's not unique, but one thing that is true to all of the different designs is that you always have a share bubble. And that share bubble, as Julie mentioned, will allow you to give access to people that you want to be able to collaborate on a project with. So that's something that many of us understand and know is possible even within our Word and Microsoft and Google tools as well. So keep that in mind. Down on the bottom, you're going to see that if you want anyone with the link can view, I actually created that one so I can share it so that only people can view. I'm going to keep scrolling down. You also have the ability to create a public view link, which means anybody that doesn't have a Canva account can still view it. And then you could create a QR code with that. We do not use live embed. We actually use Schoology to embed some of our presentations. And if there's time, Julia, wouldn't mind sharing that really quickly as well. So we can embed, but we wouldn't go this route to embed a Schoology presentation or design into our Schoology. There's another route. If you do want to download a presentation, or again, maybe it's a design for a t-shirt, there is the download button. And keep in mind that whenever you're downloading, it's always going to give the option of what file type you want to download it as. Here, it's predicting that I'm probably going to want a PDF, but you know what? If I really want a PowerPoint, then I can click PPTX and download a PowerPoint variation of this presentation, a video, pictures, and so forth. So notice there are lots of choice options here. If you do decide you want to download it, you also have the ability to decide exactly which pages. So maybe I only want page 1, then I'm just going to select page 1 and maybe page 7. And then when I click done, it's only going to download those pages for me. And so you have options there. If you're wanting something specific and you're wondering, does Canva have it? Do scroll down and click the more option, because this is where you're going to find everything that you can do when you click share. So if I wanted to share to social media, which I'm sure is not going to work here in our district tool, I haven't done that here, but you have your ability to save or save to specific drives, message certain things off. And so if you scroll through, you might find a specific way that you want to share your Canva design. And all of those are listed. All of the endless ways that you can share are listed under that more feature. Julie, I'm going to hop into a Schoology if you do want to share the link and any information there. Do you want me to stop sharing while I pull up my Schoology for you to share?
No, you can pull it up.
Okay.
Just make sure that you have gone to the chat. Click on the link to complete the attendance and the evaluation so that I can go back and post and you get credit for attending today, please. And so what Karen is going to show is that in Schoology, there is a connection to where whatever you've created in Canva will show to give you a choice and be embedded into Schoology.
Okay, so just real quick, and actually I'm going to stop share and reshare my desktop so that you're going to see everything. Right now I was only sharing one item, so you're going to see yourselves. Sorry. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen here, and I'm in my Schoology sandbox, which is the place I go when I just want to test things out. If you want to embed a design into Schoology, you want to pick a course in which you are the admin of that course. So if I want to embed my Canva creation, I want to make sure that I head on over to add materials. And there's a couple ways you can do this. You could hop over to Canva for Education. You could hop on over to add a file link or external tool. But when you use those two features, you're going to end up having to click and click again in order to open up that embed. My favorite way to do this is by adding a page, because I know that I can embed my Canva creation without any additional clicks. So I'm going to demonstrate that. I'll go to add a page. That's my material that I'm adding. And I'm just going to call this testing at a Canva embed. Okay. And I'm going to head over to the insert content icon, hit that drop down. And we're used to using image media, but we're going to hop on over to the right-hand side. We're going to scroll down to Canva for Education. If you are logged into your EDU account, hopefully it should launch it. But you're going to notice that it drops me or it pulls up my Canva and all of the different designs I've created. So I'll go ahead and click on the design that I'm interested in embedding into my Schoology. And then right down here is the embed into page button. So I'll click embed into page. And here is my design embedded. I'm going to click on it and do it in a way that I don't like, and then I'm going to edit and show you how to fix it. So let me make my mistake. Create. I like to make mistakes on purpose. Here we go. So I know it's all the way down at the bottom. Sorry, guys, at the bottom here. And so this is what I mean that sometimes when we're adding some of these links or embeds, you're going to have to click. So if I click on it, now I can see the embed. But to completely avoid that, let me back out. What you could do is when you're creating this design, I'm going to go in and edit my testing and embed. When you create or you add a page as a material, if you click this little icon down here, when I click, it says display on new page, but actually I'm turning on the display in line. So I want it to just display the page without anyone clicking on it. So now I'm going to save it. And you'll notice the difference is, oh, I thought it was going to work. Let's try this one more time. Edit. Click on it. There we go. Save changes. And this is what it should look like. I now have my Canva creation here. I'm going to bring it all the way up to the top. You can see that I have a mess in my sandbox. But now because I used the material page and I embedded it and clicked display inline, now students could click through my presentation here and it's available for them from my from my Canva. So if I make any updates or changes, those updates and changes are going to be reflected inside of my Schoology without me having to take it down and re-upload a new copy. Those live changes will also be updated here within my embed inside of my Schoology. So that's a really nice feature. All right. If you haven't already, head back over into the chat. Make sure you click on that link that Julie shared for the attendance. And we, of course, want to thank you for joining us. You know what? We're going to do one last thing. I want to pull up our presentation, Julie. In a second. Let me see if I can find it. And I want to share. See if you can see it. Okay, can you see our presentation? Yay. Okay, what I'm hoping is down here on the bottom, can you also see the little shortcuts, Julie? Okay, when you're presenting, so I know, again, we have teachers and librarians. When you create a slideshow and you put it in present mode, which is what we did, on the bottom, there's this little keyboard. But let me show you the magic. This is fun. When you click on it, and I like to take a picture of this if I can't remember or recall, but there are magic shortcuts. So when you're working with students or you're asking questions or you want to just do something fun, right? I could say, let's see. Okay. Welcome to our Canva launch. And I pressed the letter C so the confetti would come, out. If I asked a question, like for example, let me ask you guys, what is your favorite Canva feature? Somebody unmute and tell us.
Now translate.
I could mic drop for your really awesome answer. And so again, I'm hoping that you can see all of the magic shortcuts on the screen, but when you add any of those little elements, oh, I put the B for blur. I thought the B was for bubbles, but the O is for bubbles. You can add these different elements to a presentation as you're working with your students, just again, engage, get them to look at the screen and just to have a little bit more fun while you're teaching your students. That was a must share. It's hidden. It's a hidden feature. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It is 4:28. And so if you are good to go, you've learned enough, you're welcome to sign on out. And we thank you so much for joining us after school.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.